Hi, I'm Tia. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my March TBR. So in March, I have quite a few books that I want to read. I definitely plan on participating in Middle Grade March, which is a readathon hosted by Katie from Life Between Words and Krista from Books and Jams. I will link both of their announcement videos down below in the description box so that you can go and check that out if you would like to participate as well. The first thing I want to show you for March though are the books that are not part of Middle Grade March. And my number one priority for March is going to be Anne of the Island by L.M. Montgomery. This is the third book in the Anne of Green Gables series. I am super excited to read this one. It's probably going to be the first thing that I read in March because I'm really looking forward to finding out what Anne is going to get up to in this third book. I am hosting, along with Amanda from the Curly Reader, a read-along of the entire Anne series. We have a Goodreads group where we talk about each book during the month that we are reading it. I will leave a link to that Goodreads group down below if you would like to join us. You can definitely catch up at this point and read the first two books if you have not already started. They are quick reads, and then join us in March for Anne of the Island. The next book is a buddy read that I am doing with Tara from Buzzword Books, and this is Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. This is Leigh Bardugo's first adult novel, and I believe it follows someone named Alex Stern, I think in college. And from what I understand, this is like a dark contemporary, I think, with some fantastical elements in it, or maybe some paranormal elements. I'm not exactly sure. Now, this has been getting mixed reviews, but I'm really looking forward to reading it and finding out what I think about it for myself. And then the third book I want to read that's not part of Middle Grade March is going to be Kings of the Wild by Nicholas Eames. This is a book that I was just recently gifted by one of my subscribers, and I want to get to it right away. I don't want it to sit on my shelf. I've heard great things about this book. Teresa definitely recommends it, and so I am 100% looking forward to this. Okay, now let's talk about Middle Grade March. So the first book is going to be the group buddy read, and that is the Book of Boy. I have this on hold from my library, so hopefully it gets in time. I really don't know that much about this book, but I think that Krista and Katie have great taste in middle grade, so I am assuming that this is going to be a great book, and I'm looking forward to reading it with the group. The first challenge is to read a book with illustrations, and I have The Miraculous Journey of Edward Tulane by Kate Dicamillo. This is a book I have out from my library, but as you can see, it has a ton of illustrations. Each chapter has an illustration at the beginning, as well as having illustrations throughout the book. So as you can tell, this book is about a little bunny, and I'm really excited to read this. I've been wanting to read it for a while, so this is going to be the perfect month for that. The second challenge is to read a book about books or stories, and for this challenge I would like to reread one of my favorite middle grade trilogies, and that is the Grimm Legacy trilogy. The first one is the Grimm Legacy by Polly Shulman, and the second one is the Wells Bequest by Polly Shulman, and then of course the Poe Estate, also by Polly Shulman. These books are about a girl named Elizabeth who has just gotten a job as a page at New York's Circulating Material Repository, which is basically like a library for objects. And here they take care of all types of objects, some historical, some you might find out are magical, and a lot of them are from books. So they are objects that were talked about in books. In this one, they come across objects from the Grimm brothers fairy tales, and then they just go on from there. I don't want to spoil them for you. I really think that these are fantastic books. They're really, really magical. I enjoyed them so much when I read them for the first time. I think I've read the first one multiple times, but these other two I've only read once. So I would really like to give these a reread. I absolutely love them and highly recommend them. I hope I love them just as much the second or third time around, but they're just so good. And if you're looking for a book that is about books, definitely give these a try. The third challenge is to read a mystery book, and I have several options for this one. I have The Mystery of the Clockwork Sparrow by Catherine Woodfind. This is a book that belongs to my oldest daughter, and she has been wanting me to read this for a while. It is the first in I think a 4-book series, and it takes place in like a fictional department store in London. The department store is called Sinclair's. There is a mystery that has happened, and I think it's 2 teenagers who try and solve the mystery. So Sinclair's is a fictional department store that's based on the real famous department store Selfridges, and I think that this is going to be a really fun mystery. And this will also work for challenge number 4, that is to read a book that is set in another country. So I can use this one for either one, because like I said, it's set in London, England, and I live in California in the United States, so that's a different country. Then I also have The Case of the Missing Marquess by Nancy Springer. This is the first in the Enola Holmes mystery. I think that Enola is the little sister of Sherlock Holmes, and in this one I think that her mother disappears, if I remember correctly. So this is following another child detective. It's supposed to be really good. It comes highly recommended by Anne at Elizabeth Ann Reads. So hopefully I will be able to get to that one. Then I have 2 other ones that I really want to read. I'm not sure if I will get to these as well, but Winter House by Ben Gutterson, I believe, is takes place in a hotel, and it's all about a mystery. It has like puzzles and a family secret, which sounds really interesting. Then I have Green Glass House by Kate Milford. I don't really know much about this one, but it's the winner of the Edgar Award for Best Juvenile Mystery, so there you go. It's got to be a pretty great mystery. Then challenge number 4 is to read a book set in another country. So I can either use The Mystery of the Clockwork Sparrow, like I mentioned just a second ago, or I could also use Sweep by Jonathan Auxier. This one takes place in Victorian London, and I am going to be buddy reading this with Kelly from Cozy Reader Kelly. We have heard great things about this book. I think this was the buddy read for Middle Grade March last year, and I can't wait to read it. I think this is about a chimney sweep, and she makes a friend with a monster. That's about all I know about it, but it comes highly recommended by lots of people on BookTube, so I'm really excited to finally read this one. And then the last challenge is to read a book-to-screen adaptation. And for that one, this is going to be another reread. I haven't read this in quite some time, but it is Percy Jackson and the Olympians, book number 1, The Lightning Thief by Rick Riordan. This has a movie out as well. I think I've seen it once, but I've been wanting to reread this series for quite some time so that I can move on to the next series, which is like the Heroes of Olympus, I think is the series that comes after this one. And it's been so long since I've read these that I don't remember everything that happened. So this is the perfect opportunity to reread this and to see the movie again. And yeah, I'm really excited about this. Then I have one more that I'm definitely going to read. I am buddy reading this with Rainy from Rainy Day Reads. This is Echo by Pam Munez Ryan. And I think that this is about a harmonica, a magical harmonica, and I think it takes place in Germany and the United States, so maybe this could also count as a book set in another country. But I love Esperanza Rising by Pam Munez Ryan. That is like one of my favorite books of all time, and so I'm hoping that this one is just as good. This is a Newbery Honor book, so I'm thinking it's great. I've heard other people say it's a great book, so I'm really looking forward to this one too. And then finally, the likelihood that I'll get to this last one is probably slim, but if I get through all of those other ones, I want to read Wondersmith, The Calling of Morgan Crowe by Jessica Townsend. This is the second book in the Nevermore series. I'm not sure what this series is called, but the first book was Nevermore, and I loved that book so much. It was so magical, and I want to read the sequel. I think the third book is coming out soon, so it would be great if I could read this in March too, but I don't know. We'll see how many of these I can actually get through. So those are all of the books that I'm planning on reading in March. Please let me know in the comments if you have read any of these books and what your thoughts are on them. Let me know if you are participating in middle grade March, or if you are going to read Anne of the Island with us. I would love to know that as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.